Hello everyone, it's Stone here and welcome back to the Barrows Glove from Scratch series. In this episode we're going to be making some significant gains without any training whatsoever, so it's basically a quest filled episode. I forgot to mention on the first episode that this account won't be receiving any more funds from the main, so it's kind of like a 10 mil boost. And the aim of the account is to be ready for Song of the Elves, which will be coming to Old School this summer. And it's likely to be a master level quest, requiring skills in the 60s to 80s, with likely pretty high agility requirement. As it's mod Ed who will be developing it, you can expect the content to be pretty story driven, with lots of running around Gielinor to discover the secrets of the elves. But this account will be ready for that quest, with great gear and all the quests complete. But first off, let's get cracking with the episode. So to get started, you saw we completed Monk's Friend. Not really needed for anything, but it does skip those early woodcutting levels which take ages. So after that we went and did Plague City, spoke to Edmund, and we found his daughter Eleanor, who was hiding out in West Ardee. And this quest is a bit of a pain, as you'll probably know. It's a bit of running around, but luckily we had all the ingredients, so it didn't take very long at all. And of course that boosts our mining level by 2,000 or so mining XP, and the most important thing, of course, it gives you that teleport to Ardee, which allows you to also use the Ardee teleport tab. So that was an easy one to get out of the way. And next up was Biohazard. Biohazard had an absolute nightmare, of course. So I had a full inventory when I went to Biohazard. I went to do Biohazard, and so I collected all the plague samples, or so I thought. Got all the way over to the chemist, and basically then had to go all the way back to Ardee and had to bank it all and unbank and all that nightmare stuff as well. Not until one of the kind viewers actually told me you don't need to go to the bank if you don't have the plague sample on you, because it's only the plague sample that smashes. So lesson learnt. Obviously Biohazard, pretty handy. It helps you complete the Ardee easy diary because you have to go into the combat training camp, and it also gets rid of those early thieving levels, so incredibly worthwhile. Miss those slow thieving levels there. And also 3 quest points, which is quite a lot considering it doesn't take very long at all. Also needed for Recipe for Disaster Underground Pass, and obviously, like I just said, the Ardee easy diary, so pretty handy, and good to get that one out of the way. Next, I did one of my favourite quests in Old School RuneScape, and that is the Murder Mystery quest, where you have to go to the Sinclair mansion and basically figure out who killed Old Man Sinclair. So, figured it out. It turned out to be Elizabeth for me, so it's one of the most unique quests in Old School where it can actually have a random outcome for anybody. I know the Observatory quest can as well with the reward, but this kind of has a different storyline, which is really, really cool for each person. And that basically gets us to about 11 crafting. So that crafting XP, absolutely crucial for the start of the game. Get rid of all of that early skilling, and also 2,000 GP. So if you are an Iron Man, that is absolutely perfect. Get that starting cash. And of course it's required for completing Recipe for Disaster and the King's Ransom, so pretty handy one. Straight away after that we did Merlin's Crystal. So one of those quests that's just a bit of a pain and a lot of running around, but I quite like the story behind it. And we had to go speak to Morgan Le Fay. Basically King Arthur can't be bothered, or can't be, he's just not clever enough to figure out how to free his mentor from this crystal prison he's in. So obviously Merlin looks pretty upset when he's in his crystal, but we managed to get rid of him. And we had a bit of a nightmare because we only had 10 HP. So this is when we were fighting Sir Mordred. We nearly died, but luckily our 45 prayer helped out there, and a lot of running around, but the massive 6 quest points. Obviously we got the Excalibur sword as well, and that was required for completing the Holy Grail and also the Heroes quest, which is really, really helpful for us. Next up we did the Witch's House. It was just basically really essential to do at this stage, so usually I'd do it at the start and then train mage, but basically it's not that efficient to do it straight away really. And pretty good, pretty easy obviously with the magic. Using Fire Strike I managed to get loads of different magic levels, which was great. and also the prayer coming in very useful at those starting monsters, considering I only had 10 hit points. But of course, that gets us about 6.3k hit points XP, taking us up to about 25, 26 hit points. Also 4 quest points, which is loads. Also required for completing the Recipe for Disaster, which is our main goal. And also Grim Tales. So we managed to get the little kid's ball back, and we've got a very unhappy witch on our hands. So we've got a quest that I rarely ever do, and well, I rarely do any quest really, but got the Holy Grail quest. So the Holy Grail gets you a lot of defense XP, which is super helpful, and also a lot of prayer XP, about 11 and 15k in those. And also it's required for the King's Ransom quest, and it gives a cheeky 2 quest points. But who knew that this quest, the Black Knight Titan, had like 99 magic defense? So I managed to get, I think, about 10 magic levels from killing this bastard. So took bloody ages, but as you can see in the skipped through footage here, we actually managed to kill him eventually. But we went from 14 all the way up to about 20 something magic, so 22 magic or so, and finally it did end, but it took a good 20 minutes. So if you do have low magic or low combat stats, that Black Knight Titan is going to take a while, so do not recommend doing that straight away on an Iron Man unless you have any other trick up your sleeve, which I haven't figured out yet. After doing the Holy Grail, I smashed out some early level quests, some really easy ones. Druidic Ritual, which got us our 3 herb lore, so we dunked those pieces of meat in the cauldron, and we then did Black Knight's Fortress, and of course Sir Amic Vars was pretty happy with that, and he gives us 2,500 GP and a few quest points, which is quite nice. After that, we did Recruitment Drive. So Recruitment Drive, very interesting quest, just puzzle based with Sir Tiffy Cashin, and that was pretty good. So we actually managed to get 1,000 prayer, herb lore, and agility XP. And of course, that's really helpful for skipping those early levels, especially in herb lore and agility. And if you didn't have any prayer at this point, then obviously you would have got some nice little prayer levels there, negating the need to use any bones whatsoever. Following Recruitment Drive, we did the Observatory quest. We got incredibly lost in the maze, but what we did is we got Leo, which is quite nice because we got a bit more hit points XP. And also a bit of crafting XP, which is really good. Means we get rid of those first few levels, and takes our hit points all the way up to 26, which is perfect, and our crafting level up to 18, making the account look pretty good at 285 total. And we haven't trained any of these levels, so the only one we have trained is prayer, and the rest has been quested, which is incredible. So with our trusty prayer and magic, we went to the Tree Gnome Village, and we did that nice and easily. So 2 quest points and 11.4k attack XP, and we also got 23 magic in that quest, and we also managed to level up our attack, which is perfect. So 36 attack now, which is incredible. After the Tree Gnome Village, we did the Priest in Peril quest. Priest in Peril, obviously gaining you access to Mauritania and Canifis and all those other good things, and giving you that nice little bit of prayer XP and the Wolfbane dagger. But before that, we had an absolute nightmare when we nearly died to one of the guards or one of the monks, and after that we forgot to bring all the rune essence. So somehow we managed to forget 1 rune essence, had to make an extra trip back, which is pretty much a nightmare. But Drezel was pretty happy with us in the end, and we managed to get the Wolfbane dagger, the route to Canifis, and of course the prayer XP, as well as 1 quest point, which isn't the biggest of quest points, but that will have to do. And following that, we went and did Rag and Bone Man. So this is the first time that I've ever done Rag and Bone Man. Didn't realise how much of an interesting, weird kind of quest that was, like a bone collector. It reminds me of one of the books I read recently, but I'll leave that aside. But so we put the bones in the pots, and it took us a little while of running around, and lots of wumbles, and we got 500 cooking XP and 500 prayer XP, which takes our cooking level to level 8. And obviously that little prayer XP does help out as well. And of course this quest is required for the quest point cape, just like all the quests are, and also for Rag and Bone Man too. So these last few quests are pretty easy, pretty quick, but we made lots and lots of progress. So let's go double check with hands how old we are. And, well, there we are. We're about 8 hours, 38 minutes old. And we've been in the game 7 days. We also completed a nice, easy task with that. That is it for this episode, though, guys. Make sure that you like the video if you did enjoy it and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss the next one. See you soon.